In the build-up to this afternoon's FA Cup quarter-final, the teams have just emerged from the tunnel and they've had their team photograph taken wearing their limited edition red Grimsby Town tracksuit tops. They're wearing all pink this afternoon, and we have seen the Mariners fans waving aloft bits of paper, different coloured bits of paper, to form a mosaic at the away end of 3 fish. So the supporters were waving red, black and white bits of paper, and it formed 3 fish as the teams came out. It was a sight to behold. Gary Croft, what will you be feeling now as a player down there?
Well, you just want to get on with it, to be honest with you now. You know, you're dying to get started and just put all the build-up behind you and do what you know you can do. You know, you've got an instruction from the manager of how to go about the game, and you know, they've got to go out and try and win it, haven't they? You know, regardless of what people think, who's going to win and what the form says. You know, there's a semi-final beckoning, a place at Wembley. If that's not enough to cheer you up, then nothing ever will be. And that's what they're going to try and do. And you're just dying to get started, get the atmosphere going and play the football.
Ronnie Gladwell, the 8-year-old great-grandson of Alec Ginger Hall, the former chain-smoking part-time Mariners captain, born and bred in the town, who led out the team the last time Town played in an FA Cup quarter-final. He played 358 league games, including 284 in the top division. That was part of a golden era for the Mariners. Players such as George Tweedy, Harry Bettmead, Jack Hodgson, England internationals, some of those lads. Can this latest crop right there way into Grimsby Town folklore history? We're underway here. Here's John and Gary for the commentary.
That is the Mariners defending the goal to our right, where the Mariners fans are. Town all in pink, Brighton in their blue and white striped shirts, blue shorts, blue socks. It's a packed Amex Stadium today, and it is Brighton who are going to come forward. Town's back line is a back 5 at the moment as the ball comes forward. Go through the side for you at the moment. Here's Adam Webster going out to the right-hand side to Solly March. It's just about a full-strength Brighton side. Changed the keeper, but Sanchez is a Spanish international. And you can hear the Mariners fans sing When We're Fishing away to the right-hand side as Brighton go forward. And it comes back into the midfield. Town sitting very deep early on with the 2 wing-backs tight back with the back 3. And Brighton just happy to knock it around. Estepinham will go forward now, and it's a little turn. He got away from Smith, and it's in the box already, and Town under pressure as the ball comes across. Crocombe saves from Ferguson, but just a quick turn and a shot, and that shows the difficulty of the task ahead, Crofty.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, just very patiently building up, and then 1-2 passes and through on goal already. Just on his weaker side there. Smith just getting too tight there, a bit naive, and dived in. Hopefully he'll learn from that, but it's a shot from a tight angle, well held by Crocombe.
I think he's got cramp already. Crocombe will be going for the time wasting today as Town go forward. Fete just misses it in the air, comes back though, flicked forward by Green, away onto the right-hand side where Clifton is. It's cleared though. He'll go up to midfield again. Smith comes for a ball he doesn't get, and it's switched across to March on the right-hand side. He lifts it long, looking for Ferguson. Awkward one for Waterfall, but he does well to head it back to Max Croker. Max Croker's behind the back 3 of Andy Smith, Luke Waterfall, Niall Marr. Wing backs Michia Fete, Anthony Glennon, Gav Holland, Kieran Green in midfield. Then it's Harry Clifton on the right, Otis Khan on the left, supporting Danilo Orsi. On the bench, Sean Pearson, Josh Emmanuel, John McAtee, Alex Hunt, Bryn Morris, Danny Amos, Ryan Taylor, Evan Corey, keeper Ollie Battersby. Long kick forward is headed down into midfield. And Brighton again will build from the back with the right-hand side. Comes over to Pascal Gross, playing it right back today, pushing forward. He'll get it to March. 28-year-old now. He sort of came from Lewis and recently sort of shown what a great player he is. Goes into the midfield, but Town win it back, and Khan tries to get forward. It's taken off him. Holohan wins it and plays it forward, but all he can do is really just aim it through to Sanchez. All in black in the Brighton goal. Fantastic atmosphere here. Amex and Town, I think, have been set out, Crofty, just to keep it tight as you can for the first few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, but they can't just be giving the ball straight back to them if they can help it. They try and keep possession can't play like this all game with them on the ball.
It is a 5-4-1 definitely, with Orsi the lone striker. Stepping in again will bring it back. It goes right to Adam Webster. Look up, March is hugging this right touchline. That's where the ball goes. And tries to build it across, but no way forward at the moment. And it's going to be a sort of attack versus defensive. Town keep it the way it is and then hoping to break when they can. As it is, the ball rolled in. Town have won it back though. Here's Holohan looking on the left-hand side for Otis Khan. Want the best ball to him, and Khan doesn't control it well either, which means Town lose possession again. And when Town do get the chances, they've got to be better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's not many people push forward though. Town almost like playing a 4-5-0 at the moment.
Morsey's the furthest man forward, but he's not very far forward at the moment, and it'll come through again to Webster, and he'll roll it out to the right-hand side where Gross is going forward from that right back position. Comes into the middle of the park again, and that allows Lewis Dunk, the captain, to go forward. Plays it forward, and Misha Fete will just let it run behind him, and he'll have to chase it over, I think, and keep it in. Goes down the line looking for Clifton. Clifton rolls it inside, not a great ball, and they'll pink shirts have it though. And now it's gone forward to Khan. Town fans try and get the team going as Green plays it out to Mishia Fete on the right-hand side. Pink shirts flying forward, goes into the box. Not a good ball from Fete, easily dealt with by Dunk. And that means Town are a little bit light if Brighton use it quickly, which they will try and do. It goes through the middle, but Crocombe has got that one in charge, but lets it roll behind him. The ball was a little bit dangerous thing to do before you pick it up, but he did it okay. 5 minutes gone, 0-0.
Yeah, I think that's when we're going to find Town are at the most vulnerable when they go forward, when they commit men forward. They got 4 men in the box there as that ball came across as a poor ball in, and Town were a little bit stretched.
Smith down the line. Defender will get there before Orsi. It'll go back to Robert Sanchez. Listen to the crowd, the tide from both sides really making the noise. Nearly 5,000 Town fans, could have sold a lot more tickets. And here comes Webster on halfway, rolls it out to March again on the right-hand side. Got Glennon in front of him, showing him outside. Trying to come back on his left foot, which he does. Then he goes outside. Holohan gets back in front as well. Good cross, headed away to the edge of the box, not too far. Chance for Casado, but he rolls it out to the right, and it'll come back in again from March. Glennon staying in front of him. And goes back and sets up Gross. 2-on-1 at the moment. Rolled into the edge of the box. Town half clear it. Casado will have a go. Saved, but the chance will come again, and the chance will go in again. And the first goal is in the back of the net, and it's been scored. And Town a little bit disappointed with that, the way it came in and it went in. Crocombe managed to get it away, but it came out again, and Undav was able to turn it in. And it's Brighton, Hove Albion 1, Grimsby Town 0.
Yeah, very disappointing. That Town sitting so deep, but a little bit in fear. You can see it at the moment. There's a real fear about the Town players every time they get on the ball. It's nervous touches, and they just dropped and dropped and dropped there. There's no real pressure on the ball. They dropped to the edge of the box, no one there. I don't know who got the shot in, but it was a free shot in bags of space, and Crocombe did well to get down. All he could do was parry it back into play, and no Town players followed that one back in. But you got a feeling Town have got to offer a little bit more than what they're doing at the moment. They're just a bit too easy to concede ground.
Yep, just no chance of offside, unfortunately. We do have VAR today. It hasn't come to the Mariners' rescue with that one like it did at Southampton. And Town, well, the battle was great. The battle now is greater. The Wembley chants already have started from the Brighton fans. But yeah, Town sort of didn't really chase it in. It was quite easily for Undav to go in and just right foot it past the keeper.
Yeah, such a free shot, wasn't it, in the middle of it, on the edge of the box. No one really near him, considering we've got 3 across the middle of the park. Is all too easy.
Ball played forward again, that looked like offside. It's not been given, and Crocombe does well to control it as Undav looked for his second.
It was a nice ball through, wasn't it? Just tried to drop it down onto his toe, but Max Crocombe did ever so well, came out and just took it off his foot.
So 1-0. Just what Town didn't need, really, an early goal against them.
Yeah, exactly. The longer it was 0-0, the better it was going to be for Town. But now, if nothing else, that's going to make him come out of the shell, and we've got to get a goal, simple as that.
Holohan heads it on. It'll go out, though, for a throw. They've started nervously, haven't they? They almost sort of you've got to give the side respect, but perhaps they gave her too much in the opening 5.
Yeah, I thought Brighton were quite nervous the way they sort of passed their about, just kind of kept it at the back, didn't really force the ball at all. And Town, when they did win it back, because they closed down quite well, just instantly gave it back to Brighton, and it showed a bit of fear in them.
So 1-0 it is. Here's Pascal Gross. He's getting forward from right back, almost like a wing back, even though they're playing a back 4. Comes to March. March chips it in. That's a dangerous looking one. Again, Waterfall does well. I'm sure he was fouled there. No foul given, and in the end, it's clever header back from Glennon. Waterfall looks as though he shoved there for me.
Yeah, nicely tidied up by Glennon, but yeah, I thought it was a foul, but ref not having none of it.
What they tend to do is let things go a little bit more now with VAR, don't they? So let VAR make the decisions for them if they need to. Crocombe kicks right. Fate does well to flick it on. Clifton tries to shield it on the right-hand side. Mariners will win a throw. At least they're in the Brighton half, which hasn't happened very often in this opening 9 minutes. And they did get forward once, didn't they? And Fate's cross didn't really find his man. Goes back to Luke Waterfall. Niall Maher now. Glennon is wide on the left-hand touchline. Goes down the line. There's a run on from Orsi. Orsi might get there as well, and does, and gets offside flag goes up as soon as he does, though, unfortunately.
That was a good ball that by Glennon, actually put into a nice area, but Orsi must have just gone a bit too early. We haven't really got the angle here, have we, to see the line very well?
No. So the Fish have gone a little bit quiet for the moment. Behind the goal to the right. As Brighton will build again. Webster using this right-hand side a lot, where Gross is forcing Khan back to be almost another defender. Goes back to Webster and into his captain, Dunk. Joined the club over 20 years ago. The ball's played in the Town box, and Niall Maher will touch it back to the keeper. No Roberto De Zerbi on the Brighton bench today, serving a 1-match ban, so it'll be Andrea Maldera and Andrew Crofts. Here's Niall Maher for Town. 1-0 down here. Rolls it across to Waterfall. Waterfall goes to the edge of the box. It'll come back to him and turned out to Smith on the right-hand side. Holohan will get it forward, but lose possession in the middle of the park. And Casado will bring it forward for Brighton. And Gross, who's happy to go forward every time he gets it. But the ball from him is loose, and it'll go through to Crocombe. It remains Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Grimsby Town 0. We've had 11 minutes. Yeah,
pretty much what we expected really so far. Just disappointed about the goal. Town have just got to be a little bit more possession. There's plenty of space to play at the back. Brighton sort of sitting a little bit deep, allowing the Town back 3 to play it around, but you feel like once it goes into midfield, they really put the squeeze on. It's going to be difficult to break through them lines, I think, today.
Yeah, Paul's game plan, I suppose, you know, we look like, well, keep it tight and see what we got. You know, it almost goes out the window with that 1-0. I suppose while it's only 1, you're all right, as if they concede another one. As Town try and get forward again, it's flicked forward. The keeper will come and collect that on the bounce. He doesn't actually, he hits it away. Not sure if it was a back pass or not. Fate heads it down the line. Clifton heads it on, it'll go straight through to the keeper. It remains 1-0.
Town have just got to believe, haven't they, still in the game at 1-0.
Interesting the way they're playing. They're pushing March really wide, aren't they, on this right-hand side? And also Matoma, which hasn't really been seen so much on the far side. He's going wide as well there. Brighton again builds from the back. Again they use Gross on this right-hand side. Rolls it into the edge of the box. The dummy is there. It's played forward again, and the Town just about get it away. Waterfall, Smith and Glennon to halfway. And that'll be turned back to the keeper. That's almost, we can call that a shot on target. It was a back pass. The keeper was out. Bit more on it. That would have been a spectacular own goal, but unfortunately from Town didn't quite have the legs to go over the line. Wow,
that was incredible. A great angle from us as well. The keeper actually lets it come over his shoulder, so he was quite sure he could get there, but he did have to have a nice touch on the half volley facing his own goal to take it away from the goal still. I didn't fancy the goalkeepers from old to do that, but he was very adept at doing that.
Town fans, we've got the Fish chant going as the ball comes forward again. Maher heads away. Well brought down by Khan, but he's got to come away from it. Gets a free kick. Notice Khan. And the German who's played most of his career in the Belgian league. He's playing just off the taller figure of Ferguson for Brighton. Seeing one where fishing rings out around the Amex Stadium, but the Mariners 1-0 down here. Crocombe will take this kick. Hits it over to the right-hand side. Fete does well to head it on, but he almost gets too much on it and sends it through past two Town players through to the keeper. Webster. I wonder how close Paul was for starting Ryan Taylor, because if you're going to play one up, he's the ideal player, isn't he, really?
Yeah, he had a lot of dilemmas, clearly. Big decisions to make.
Dunk to Webster. Up to halfway. Town have everybody behind the ball, shuffling from left to right as the ball goes across the Brighton back four. Rolled forward again, space this time, and a chance for Brighton to come forward again. The shot is low and deflected away, and Crocombe will get it. There's Pascal Gross getting forward again from the right-hand side with the shot.
He's found a lot of space out, isn't he?
Yeah, he's almost. I'm just trying to play. They're not playing wing backs, are they? But he's almost playing as a right wing back.
Brennan's having a bit of a problem here, 2-on-1. He needs support from Calm whenever Brighton come forward. He's not getting it all the time.
Long ball for Smith, or Rossi to chase. Should be easy for Dunk, and it is. Stupinen just plays it back in and rolls it right to Pascal Gross again. There's a run on the right-hand side. Comes back into midfield, touched back by Casado. And here again is Webster. Stupinen, that's a loose ball from him. That'll give the Mariners a chance to clear their lines with the goal kick. And 15 minutes have gone. It's 1-0 to Brighton.
Well, they've just got to keep frustrating them, haven't they? They're patient, they work the ball across. When they work it across quickly, that's when they get the sort of joy down the sides. And they're putting a lot of like balls in from the wide into the striker, and then sort of getting midfielders running off them. Town looks quite precarious at times, doesn't it? There's so many runners coming about, but Town is just about reading it and staying on top of it. But we need a bit more going forward.
All her black and white army is the chant that still rings out, but Brighton win the ball. Clever header by Waterfall, touch to the right-hand side, sliding challenge from Holland, doesn't quite get there. Comes inside to Khan though. Glennon's made a good run on the left-hand side. A bit isolated at the moment as the ball comes to him. Otis Khan comes behind him to pick it up. Goes back to Waterfall. Waterfall will go right to Holohan. Holohan comes inside, but he's tackled, and Town's promising move has broken down at the moment. Smith will play a ball forward, looking for Clifton, who clips it, a lovely ball, it just to Fete. It goes down the right-hand side again. Clifton plays it in, and it's going to be turned away, and that's a corner, I think, or is it a throw? It's a throw. Niall Marr will probably go across the take.
It's better play by Town there. Aaron Clifton just nipping in front of his defender and getting a return ball off Michel Fete. Nearly gets the cross in. Plenty of Town players in the box, to be fair.
Yep.
People pushing in.
Clifton and Glennon go back as the centre-backs go forward. Niall Marr rescues the ball from near the corner flag, wipes it on his shirt. Waterfall's at the near post, where the ball will be aimed. Comes in at that near post, gets a flick away though from Dunk. Town trying to battle, but a free kick is given against them. Holohan, I think it was. And it'll be a free kick to Brighton and Hove Albion. In their left back position, keeper will come out to take it, and takes it short. Yeah, Town have got a real problem with Gross and March, haven't they? Because, you know, at the moment, I'm looking where Gross is, he's sort of almost playing in number 10 position.
Yeah, he's just wandering about trying to find space, isn't he? A bit like what McAtee does, just trying to get in them holes, and then when it's switched, he comes out here and helps Marsh. We've seen nothing of Matoma, like you said, on the other side.
Right. To Webster. Crosses halfway. Half a foot in by Orsitt, comes out to March. He plays a nice clever little ball into Casado. Casado forward again, and almost wrong-footed Waterfall, but he's there. Town will get a free kick as the challenge comes in on Holohan, I think, back there defending. Free kick for Town. They've sort of settled down a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can sort of see what they're trying to do now. They're trying to play them neat little balls in. They're very patient until they can release that spare man in midfield, and then intricate little 1-2s in and around in front of the back three. And Town tracking them down quite well, holding their ground, tracking their runners reasonably well so far.
Crocom's kick away to Fete. He'll win this one in the end, head it down the line to Clifton. Clifton flicks it behind his man. Horsey goes across to get it, but Dunk will get there first. It'll be a Mariners throw. Smith takes this one. 15 yards inside the Brighton half as the Mariners make progress on their right-hand side. It goes a bit further now, so it's more than halfway into the Brighton half. Comes back to Smith, who plays it down the line. Fete lets it run, and then as soon as he goes for it, the linesman's flag will go up. And there's a free kick to Brighton. Is it just a matter of quality that Town, when they get possession, they've just got to try and be as precise as possible?
Yeah, absolutely, and a little bit of belief as well. When the ball comes through, they've got to be comfortable in possession and wait for something to happen, not treat it like a bit of a hot potato like they have a bit so far. Just wait to see what unfolds in front of them. You know, they're playing the ball a bit too early at times. Just wait for the runners, wait for support, and see if we can retain possession a bit.
Stupinan, one of the couple of Ecuadorians in the side from Villarreal, wells it across. Might get it back in a minute. They're quite happy to play it along what's almost a back three, with Gross going forward as often as he does. Comes back now to Webster. He'll roll it through the middle. Well watched by Niall Marr to clear, but he'll go back and we'll start again with Webster. About 5 yards further back than last time. He gives it out on the right-hand side to Gross. Good foot in by Glennon. Green has it. Back to Glennon. Glennon inside. It's an awkward one for Khan. Players around him. Brings it down nicely, but it's taken off him, and Town lose possession. Just nowhere to go when Town get the ball, is there? Yeah, everywhere you look round, there's blue shirts. It
was just a little quality issue there, like playing the ball, keeping it tight to the ground. Just sloppy pass inside by Glennon, and it's given away again.
76 places between these two sides. Brighton in the Premier League, Town in League Two. And it's the Premier League side ahead here, 1-0. Dennis Undav after 7 minutes. And it's been Brighton controlling things, having just about all the possession. Town trying to build a pink wall at the back, but finding it hard so far.
It's almost like a game of chess in that centre midfield area there, isn't it? They're trying to play through Town, looking for them gaps, but Town are staying solid.
Stupinan again, rolls it inside, come back to him, and roll back now to Dunk. It's flicked forward, clever header by Marr. Comes up in the air. Glennon has to watch this one. Doesn't watch it particularly well, and it's 2-on-1 as the ball is taken off him and rolled down the line again here. Goes back to Pascal Gross. Gross comes across the park, rolls it left to Stupinan. Go back to Lewis Dunk, just outside the centre circle, and back to Stupinan just on his left. Town sitting behind the ball again, trying to get the ball in but can't do so as it's rolled further to the left-hand side, and Alexis McAllister, the World Cup winner, and Stupinan will try and get it forward again. McAllister away on the left-hand side, great run, and Tuma plays it across, all the way across, and Glennon does well at the far side to slide it away for a corner.
Yeah, that's it, bump, and they speed the pace up, and they get round the backs. The first we've seen him at home, it's a lovely cross in. Glennon does ever so well around the back stick just to slide in, because he had a player looming just behind him.
Just having a look at that, it looked to me as though there was a Brighton player going in there, Undav, who was maybe claiming he was pulled. It was actually Gross who was going in there. He was claiming he was pulled, but we have got VAR, but I don't think it's going to be used for that. Yeah, referee today is Jared Gillett, and Michael Salisbury is on VAR. Certainly claiming he was pulled. If there's any sign of a VAR, check the corner. Hang on. No, there's a ball on the pitch. I thought the referee was stopping for something else, but he wasn't. There's a football on the pitch. So it will be a corner. Halfway through the first half, the Mariners trail 1-0. They have to defend this corner in front of their fans. Pascal Gross will take it. March is short, so that means Otis Khan has come across as well. pushing and shoving in the box. Ferguson up against Fete in there, trying to get a run on him. Comes in now into the near post. Everybody's up and away at the back by Mark. And Clifton does well on the right back position. And I think that's going to be a throw rather than a free kick for the Mariners, maybe. But Clifton did well to sort of turn and try and get it away. I'm not sure what he'd have done when he'd got away, because he was on his own on the right-hand side there.
He's going to knock it down the line, I think, but
yeah,
wins the throw in. It's good play, good header by Mara away.
Back it goes to Crocombe. Not an easy ball for him to control as a man comes in, but he deals with it okay. Lets it forward. Fete again does well to head it inside to Khan. Khan onto the right-hand side. Flag's going to go up here against Clifton. That looked very tight to me.
He just went slightly lead, didn't he? Again, Fete doing well in the air there.
Yeah, he's won most of the things, to be fair, hasn't he?
He's done well attacking-wise down on that side. Only real threat time I've had has been down that side.
Town subs warming up, but I think that is all they're doing really. Free kick's been taken, 24 minutes gone. Webster. Town line them to play up to a certain area, aren't they? Is that dangerous?
Well, I don't think there'd be any point going to try and get it off them, because they just kind of knock it round them and they get picked off. So it's almost like just defending the key in a basketball game, really, aren't they? Just defending that area.
Pascal goes again on the right-hand side, gives it back to Webster. He'll roll it through the middle, comes back to Gross. It's 2-on-1 on this side again. As it goes to March. March running at Glennon. Comes in on his left boot, fires it across the goal, headed goalwards. Good save. Well, it was straight in his hands, but he had to hold on to it. And it was a good free header, really, for Ferguson going in there. He'll be disappointed he didn't put it either side of him.
Yeah, good pace on it as well, didn't it? Nice ball in by Marsh. Left-footed, just bent in. He just needed a glance. He got the glance, but straight into Max Crocombe, unfortunately. Very easy for them to get that ball in there, isn't it? They get Town sucked into that centre, then they spread it wide so early, and they've got all the time in the world to get the cross in.
That's a long kick from Crocombe. Clifton looks to flick it on, but struggling to get in there, Town, at the moment. It's played away, and away it goes to the right-hand side, and Gross again in space. Khan away this time. Glennon had to go towards Gross, which means that on the right-hand side, March can go forward, and Mars had to come across with him, and does well to get it into touch. It'll be a throw, 10 yards away from the corner flag. Paul Hurst applauds his side. Throw going to come in from the right-hand side. It's Brighton Hove Albion 1, Grimsby Town 0. Had nearly 26 minutes. Nice turn by March again. Again, there's 2-on-1 on this side. He comes back on his left foot, rolls it inside, goes further across, half cleared by Town, but only as far as Dunk, the centre-back, but he's almost halfway inside the Mariners' half. Seydoux now. Good foot in by Green. And Town turn it away, but they just can't get it up to a pink shirt where it's going to stick, and Brighton come back with it. Stupinen. Back to Dunk, on the edge of the centre circle, who roll it to Webster. That's gone forward. Surely Town look for offside, not given, not controlled by Ferguson. In the end, Crocombe does well. But he looked off there, Crofty.
Wow, it's a good ball through by Webster, wasn't it? She's centre half playing a ball there, slide rule pass through, and I couldn't really tell. It looked like a well-timed run.
No, it's a Fete on the far side playing him on.
Yes, he didn't put his flag up, so...
Yeah, it was clearly onside. The Fete was 2 yards deeper on the right-hand side, so good work by Crocombe. Crocombe hits it through the middle. Horsey tries to shield, but the defender gets it, comes back to Horsey, turns it nicely. Away on the right-hand side is Clifton, out to Mishir Fete, players in the box for Town. And Fete rolls it down the right-hand side, too strong for Clifton. Oh, wrong option really.
Yeah, he's only going to do what Fete could have done in space, to be fair. You know, needed the ball in. There was Khan in the box, Horsey in the box. When Town get opportunities and they get players in the box, you've got to stick the ball in there and see what happens.
Mariners fans making their voices heard. It's been backs to the wall so far. They've conceded one. Purvis is still been out on the left-hand side. Karen Matura. Comes back again. Adam Webster rolls it forward. Good little ball again. And Gross is popping up all over the place. And Town can't really deal with him at the moment. Comes back to Webster. Might go out to Matoma now on the left-hand side. Roll through instead. A little clever flick by Undav. Waterfall's gone across with him. Now it goes out to Matoma. Matoma looks up to see what's on. Chips it in, but it'll fall to Holohan, who'll turn it away. Clifton looks up. Hit and hope for Orsi to chase. Defender controls it nicely, though Lewis Duncan just brings it down, and Orsi gives up the chase and gets back into his shape. And it remains 1-0 to Brighton.
And Town gets set in their back five and middle four. It's hard to sort of get the ball up to Orsi and go and support him because we're so deep.
Coming through the middle here, Sado. Ma gives it back. It's a kick from Crocombe that's brought down by Estupinan. And outside now to Matoma. Back to the defence. Town again just happy to let him build it. It goes to Matoma down the left-hand side. I think that's too strong for him, and it is. It's going to roll away for a goal kick. We've had nearly half an hour. It's Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Grimsby Town 0. Well, I suppose after that goal after 7 minutes, it could have been worse, but it's at the moment Town trying not to lose it by a lot rather than trying to win it, which I can understand to a certain extent.
But if we're going to play in a quarter final of a cup, I think we've got to do a little bit more than that, haven't we? Now, especially with being a goal down, you're in a match, aren't you? The winner goes through, the loser goes out. We've got to take a few more chances, perhaps when the ball goes up front. Do
you think that they'll do that as they, try and keep like this for a sort of an hour, and then try and maybe bring McAtee on and Taylor?
Yeah, I can understand wanting to stay in the game as long as possible, but to keep conceding ground like this, the only thing you can see happening really is another goal going in.
Comes inside to McAllister, who's been fairly quiet, the Argentinian so far. Rolled across to Webster. Good ball through the middle, but not a great bit of control by Undav, and Khan has it. You have to be careful. Goes back to Marr. Marr sidesteps his man, rolls it back inside to Luke Waterfall, being closed down by Ferguson, hits it away to the right-hand side, Mishia Fete. Fete back to Smith, down the line for Clifton to chase. Going to be chased as well by Orsi. Orsi claiming that he's handled it outside the box, the keeper, but I don't think he has, and I think, if anything, the foul might have been given against Orsi for going in. But coming through the middle now, Moises Caicedo all the way through, and Crocombe comes out and has to kick it away, because I think if he'd gone down, there was a danger that the ball might have been behind him before it got down. Yeah,
it was a good decision by Max Crocombe again, coming out, using the edge of his box, commanding his areas. Nice ball through again by the centre half.
The referee's just holding it. He was out of his box. He was out of his box.
Right.
Keeper was out of his box here.
He was.
We've seen that again. There could be a red card for that. He's definitely outside his box. We've seen it again.
VAR, have a look at that.
VAR will be looking at that.
There's no doubt about it. If they're seeing what we're seeing, we're seeing a handball outside the box.
It's clearly outside the box.
If the player's going to get there, he prevented a goal scoring opportunity by doing that?
Well, there's something going on, obviously.
Well, it's a free kick. We're playing on the edge of the box.
We're playing on.
Are we? What?
He was clearly outside his box.
We can see it on a still image on the huge screen next to us here. Keeper picking the ball up outside the box, but apparently that's not a free kick.
Well, it's not the free kick, is it? It's the card that would have followed. The ref didn't give the free kick, so he couldn't really bring it back, because that's not what it's for. It goes through the middle. Onside is given as Brighton have it again. Comes to Gross on the right-hand side, plays it across the goal, and missed somehow by Matoma coming in at the far side.
Well, it was held up ever so well there, wasn't it, by McAllister? I think it was. Played it through to Gross. Gross put the ball in well. Matoma seems to go at it with his wrong foot, goes at it with his right foot, and it kind of comes off the flat bit of his right foot. Can't quite get his toe round it to hook it back. For me, he needs to go in with his left foot, and that goes in.
Yeah, Fete has to be careful. He's playing people on a lot of the time when the ball's coming over from this side. He's dropping a little bit deeper than the other defenders.
He does well to miss that, doesn't he? Matoma there.
Yeah, he went with his wrong foot, didn't he? Yeah.
Well, that'll puzzle a few people about that handball. Certainly has me. Cannot get my head around that at all.
Well, from what we saw, it looked clearly outside, didn't it?
Yep.
Town going through the middle. Gross plays it back to the keeper. He kicks away. Stooping, and Clifton goes in front of him, and Town get the throw.
He's got great athleticism, Harry Clifton, and that's what he'll give you. Gives you a little bit of lift. Just as Brighton about to come out earlier, just chases back and wins the throw in. Keeps Brighton in their own box. Gives them a bit of respite to the centre halves.
Smith's going to take it halfway inside the Brighton half, nearly on the right hand side. 1-0 to Brighton still. Goes down the line. Fate heads it inside, nudged away. Smith comes for a long way for a ball he's not going to get, and the ball is played up to Ferguson. Ferguson stopped with a decent challenge from Waterfall. He's still got possession of it, but at least it means that Town have got players back now. Come forward on the right hand side to Webster. Goes outside again to Pascal Gross. There's a run being made in the middle, but it goes short instead and comes back to Gross, who's got Xedo just inside him. Goes behind him instead to Dunk. Dunk out on the left hand side to Stupinen. Stupinen again. Back to Lewis Dunk. Town fans still are the ones making the noise, despite the side being a goal down. 35 minutes gone. Town defending quite deep. The midfielder was being sucked back to join the back five as it is at the moment. And here goes March, rolling it into the edge of the box, turned inside, but not a great ball forward by Undav. That allows Max Crocombe to come out. All in yellow today, Max Crocombe. Hits it forward, but nobody there in a Town shirt. Sort of miscued that one a little bit, Crocombe. So it'll come back to Webster and played through the middle. Smith does well to deal with it. Holohan clever bit of play in midfield. Horsey sort of, the ball was slightly behind him, didn't know where to go or to leave it for Clifton. And by the time he'd made his mind, really the ball had gone.
Yeah, Town again winning the ball back quite well, closing down them spaces and winning it, but then within 2 seconds the ball's back in Brighton possession. Town just need to hold on to that ball a little bit longer.
Matoma on the far side, it comes back again to halfway. Webster away on the right hand side, Pascal Gross back to Webster, rolled forward, Solly March gives it back, and Brighton build again from the back on the halfway. It's a long ball this side that Fate won't get to. It's well brought down by Matoma. Fate gets in front of him, Matoma gets past him, and Fate does really well to slide in and win that, because if he'd mistimed that, it could have been a penalty. It is a corner.
What a ball out there by Dunk as well, your centre half. Shot to Matoma's toe. Fate good defending that time, going to ground. You have to be sure when you go to ground, and he got there.
There's a corner on the left hand side, going to be swung in. Everybody, there's a couple of Brighton players completely free on the edge of the box that Town aren't watching at all, as this will swing in. And I think that's what Town bench are trying to get, some sort of attention.
Well, there must be some spare players in there somewhere.
Ball is lifted all the way across. Crocombe tips it again and tips it behind for a corner on the other side.
He does well there. I think I was just probably dropping in at that back stick.
March comes across to the right hand side to take it. 1-0 Brighton lead. It's been backs to the wall stuff for Town in this first half, as we suspected it might be. Played short to Pascal Gross. Gross goes to the byline, chips it across, 2 free at the far side, volleyed over at the far side by Matoma. They had an extra man there. There's something on the pitch that's been thrown on by the Town fans, which isn't great to see, but
nearly hit the players who's on the ball, actually.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah.
Should have done better with that with Matoma. Had a clear look at that. Maybe just slightly distracted by the Town player who got up to win the header, but it's an open volley for him. Had the goal to aim at.
Yep. And there was 2-on-1 on the far stick, despite Town having all those pink shirts in the 6-yard box. 37.5 minutes gone. Roberto De Zerbi sitting up in the stands here. He's got a touchline ban, the Brighton manager. Ball clipped forward to Glennon, and Glennon will immediately put him under pressure, so it goes back to Marr. Now it comes back to Anthony Glennon. That's rolled a dangerous looking ball to Holohan, and Holohan gets it forward, but Town have lost possession. And that was a dangerous game to play, and it could prove costly. It's just past the post, though, from Casado.
Casado with another shot from the edge of the box. The first one resulted in the goal, but Town trying to play out from the back, be brave, but getting caught in the centre of midfield there. Brighton quickly close all the options down. I don't think Town will be doing that too many times.
No. I mean, the ball out to Glennon. You know, it took so long to get through the air, didn't it, that by the time he got to Glennon, he had nowhere to go. No. Chris Doig's out, I think, maybe saying a few things about the corner, because they were two completely free on the edge of the box, weren't they?
Interesting to see what Town do at half-time, whether they change things.
They clip it forward to Glennon again, who heads it on to Otis Khan. Misjudged control from Khan, so that allows Webster to go in. And out on the left-hand side, Brighton make progress to come back inside and across and back to Webster and back to Gross, who's almost like an auxiliary right winger at the minute. Into Undav and back again it'll come. Of course, he gets half a challenge in, but there's nobody around him at the moment. Ball given away. Here's Clifton going forward. He's pushed it too far. And it allows Stupinen to go forward on the left-hand side, out to Mitoma. Mitoma has Clifton in front of him. Rolled it left. And comes back again. Now they'll come forward, Brighton, and switch it across to the Dunk. His other centre-back, Webster, is just to his right. Rolled in and flicked on again. Chipped into the box. Waterfall trying to hold it up. It comes back to Casado and goes in again to the edge of the box. Town should deal with it. Glennon gets to the byline and it's flicked up in the air. But Brighton keep it in momentarily, but Green will smash it up and smash it out of play. It's a throw. Five minutes to the break. The Mariners trail 1-0 to that early goal from Dennis Undav. Stupinen will come forward. Back it'll go to the centre back. We've spent most of the time in the Town half in this first half.
Yeah, they can play as well. Some nice through balls coming from the back three.
Smith slides into chance, doesn't get the rolled out to Mitoma on the far side. He rolls it to the edge of the box. The shot is over, not by much, but just over. And it'll be a goal kick.
That's the thing about Brighton, they can just speed it up in one or two passes. Mitoma could be more and more into the game, isn't he, as it goes on there, and just again, plenty of space there just to roll it back to the edge of his box to the outside of his right.
Gross again was just in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, on his favoured left foot. I think pulls it just a bit too high over the bar.
Yeah, it was just slightly behind him, wasn't it, which I think saved the Mariners. Crocombe kicks long. Horsey sort of runs into his man. He hasn't really got in the game at all, Horsey, at the moment. Glennon now brings forward, doesn't control it though. Now he goes down the line, headed away though. Green tries to get in there. Nothing given. Hits Horsey on the head, doesn't know where it is. It's come behind him, it's fallen back to Horsey though. Rolls it to the right, looking for Clifton. Gives Clifton so much to do, and the defender will get there a couple of seconds before him. It'll go back. Calm down is the message from the Brighton bench, as they try again to just build through the middle. Here's Gross again, who's just popping up everywhere. This time he's on the right-hand side. Forward it goes inside to Undav. Undav's got support from Solly March. Solly March back on his left foot, back on his right foot, gets the cross in, takes a deflection, and saved by Crocombe at the near post.
Yeah, again, bags of space to cross the ball in. Poor cross in the end, well blocked. Crocombe doing well to pick up the ball, but Town have got to offer a bit more up front, haven't they? When the ball goes up to Horsey, he's got to hold on to it a little bit longer. Just make
well, none of the sort of attacking three, if you like, of Horsey and Khan or Clifton's really got hold of it.
Yeah, no, not for any length of time. The ball's just coming back too much, and so much pressure on this Town back five.
It's a long kick. It ricochets up in the air, he's headed away. Coming forward though is Holohan. He can't get hold of it quite. Green sliding in for a challenge, doesn't get there. It goes beyond him and the player coming in, and just tied it up Back to his defender by Ferguson, who comes deep on the left-hand side of Stupin and will charge forward. There's 2-on-1 on the far side now at the moment, as Brighton come forward again. 10 yards in the Mariners' half. 2 minutes to go to the break. Rolled out to the right-hand side to Webster. Webster forward, away on the right-hand side, March. Down the line it'll go again for Gross. Gross comes back on his left foot. Mars come across, doesn't get the challenge in. It's nicely played inside, and a little turn back to March, and back to Gross on the right-hand side. Town just pushing them back a little bit. They keep it in though, Brighton. Webster rolls it through the middle. Good foot in by Town. And again, it's played away on the right-hand side, but it gives, again, it was Afete this time, far too much to do. It was good tracking back by Brighton, but...
Town back through, reading it quite well a few times and winning the ball back, but Town just so sloppy in possession when they get it, and they haven't got a million options, but they've got to be braver on the ball.
We're in the last minute of the first half. Brighton lead 1-0, that's what they have for most of the half. Ball down the line is going to be too strong for Solly March, who'd gone across to the left, and it goes out for a goal kick. We're about to see how much stoppage time there is.
Town have been quite frustrating for Brighton, I think, at times like that. You know, they're closing all the channels down as much as they can. They're still getting through because they've got that ability. And quite a few times they've played needless balls through and given the ball away, and that's what we need them to do. But certainly Town going forward into the second half have got to show a lot more on the ball. Got to be definitely a bit braver, hold on to it a bit better, and I think we might see some changes.
Crocom's long kick. Defender heads up in the air. Again, Horsey doesn't really go for it. Good header forward. It's going to be a foul given against Mishi, though, who just sort of got up early. 1 minute of stoppage time we're into.
He's done okay going forward. Mishi has won some headers and he's shown some willing, hasn't he? But
ball played forward again. Mitoma's got past Mishi. Afete, defender comes across. Mitoma still there, rolls it across, and good work by Green. But can Town get it away? They can. Khan looks it up to Holohan. Holohan switches it right to Clifton. Clifton coming forward. Back to Clifton. Back to Holohan. Holohan chips it down the line. Knocked away though. Town's probably best attack really for quite a while. There's 15 seconds of this first half left of stoppage time as Brighton now charge forward. Comes out to the right hand side of March. March goes to the right hand side. Referee looks at his watch and he blows for the whistle for half time. Well, they're 1 goal down. They haven't created a lot, Gary Croft, but they're still in the game.
Well, that's it. That's what the manager would have wanted. It hasn't been pretty, and we certainly haven't threatened to score at all. The Brighton goal hasn't even seen the ball. I don't think we've been in the box with the ball. Never mind have a chance at goal, but you know, at the end of the day, they've kept it relatively tight at the back. They've frustrated Brighton to a few chances. Of course, they're going to create some. They probably should have had a couple more as well, but we're still in the game, 1-0, and yeah, anything can happen. But I think going forward, if we're going to get something out of it, he's got to make some changes going forward.
We thought the goalkeeper was outside his area, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you pointed out to me that it was on the screen right next to me. It's a massive screen. I can see he's leaning forward. He's got both hands on the ball and he's outside the box. I just can't understand why the ref doesn't pull that back and make that free kick.
Do you expect changes straight away, or maybe will you leave it for 15 minutes and then go for it?
I think he's got to make changes straight away, mate. I think, you know, we can't keep having the ball coming back at us like that. We need someone who's comfortable in possession, who can retain it, and even if you play McAtee up front instead of Horsey, you know, he might not have the running that Horsey's got, but what he will do is get hold of the ball and give people time to come up and support, whereas Horsey at the moment, it's a bit of a hot potato for him. He keeps getting it, and every time he sees something, he just plays it, whether it's on or not. He's just got to be stronger and better in possession. Just, you know, otherwise the ball's just going to keep coming back.
Half-time score here is Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Grimsby Town 0.
Give us your thoughts at Humberside Sports if you want to give us an opinion. John Tonder, what did you make of the goal that was conceded after just 6 minutes, and the goalkeeping in particular, John?
Well, I think he did all right. He kept it out. I think the biggest problem really was there was no Town player reacting either. I think it was an awkward one for Crocombe to hold on to. He perhaps, you know, he would have hoped maybe to beat it away more to the side than forward. But you know, it happens, and it's I think to a certain extent he's kept the first one out. It's maybe down to somebody else to come in and clear it before the attacker comes in.
Would you make changes immediately at half-time?
Yes, I think I probably would. Even if it's not McAtee, I think I'd have Taylor on for Horsey. And just to hold the ball up a little bit, you know, and to win a few things when it's coming up, because it's not happening at the minute.
It's not, and some of the passing has been a bit stray and ragged, hasn't it, at times, when it needed to have a bit more composure in there.
Yeah, I thought Town got into it more. I thought they looked very nervous at the start and, you know, surrendered a lot of possession to the home side, which I think maybe was the game plan. But of course, as soon as that goal goes in, life's changed, hasn't it?
Very much so. At Humberside Sport, if you want to send us a message this afternoon. Quarter-final action from the Amex Stadium. Grimsby Town trading Brighton then by 1-0. Certainly still in the game. I'd like to get your views though. What do you reckon to what you've just seen in that first half? If you've been watching, you've got us on in the kitchen maybe, you've gone to make yourself a half-time cup of tea, drop me a message, 81333. Start your message with the letters R and H. That's where we are here on a Sunday sports special from BBC Radio Humberside. Sheffield United have booked their place in the semi-finals of the FA Cup after a dramatic late 3-2 victory over Blackburn in the All-Championship affair at Bramall Lane earlier on today. Tommy Doyle's stoppage time strike sent the Blades through, and afterwards he spoke to the BBC's Gigi Salmon.
Tommy, thank you so much for speaking to us. Has it at all sunk in, the goal you struck and the fact that Sheffield United are going to Wembley in the semi-finals?
No, it feels good. You know, I do expect stuff like that from myself, to be fair. You know, I probably should score a little bit more than I do, so now to finally get involved in the goals, especially a goal like that, is special.
Now, speaking to TV, because everyone's going to say, how did it feel? Describe it for us. You said, I just gave it a good wallop. Yeah, it just set lovely for me. I just thought, I'm going to wallop it, and yeah, it went in, which is a good feeling, and obviously the fans were amazing, which makes it even better. There's such a different feel, isn't there, about a cup tie, and the energy around Bramall Lane today must have given the players a lift.
Yeah, it's massive. You know, when we were down and they were still singing and stuff, it helps us massively. So yeah, obviously that performance was for them as well, and you know, they get a trip to Wembley now, which is special.
And all credit to Paul Heckingbottom, because he made the changes, didn't he? He made it more attacking. He gave you the licence to get further forward and to go for that winner.
Yeah, we know what we need to do, and the gaffer just implements that. To be fair, you know what he says, we go out and try and do to the best of our ability, and you know, thankfully it paid off today.
You said that you expect that of yourself. Have you scored a better goal?
Not in my career so far. Maybe in academies and stuff, but obviously with the magnitude of the goal today, it's something that will be with me for a long time, and yeah, I'm just buzzing to do it today. On loan from Manchester City, but you are now going to go into the Sheffield United history books. I mean, you're going to be a hero among the Sheffield United fans. I mean, I said before I came here that I was going to give 100%, 110%, sorry, for the club, and you know, that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, you know, if that puts me in that status, then that's amazing. But you know, I'm just happy to be playing here at this moment and giving everything for the club. And I imagine extra special because you've got some family history in the competition. Yeah, I know my granddads have obviously won this before and played obviously hundreds of games, and which is what I intend to do. But obviously I'm still so young and got a long way to go yet to achieve what they've achieved. So you know, that's the plan, and hopefully I can do that and better. Now, if you were to get Manchester City at Wembley, I don't know if you'd want that or not. Is there something in your loan agreement you could, or you can't face your parent club? No, I don't think I'd be able to play. But listen, that's fine. You know, the lads will obviously go out there and give everything, and you know, I'll be there to support them. So I think that's how it would happen. And it's such a great time for Sheffield United, because not only are you now going to Wembley in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, but you're also second in the league with that promotion push to get into the Premier League. Yeah, you know, that is our main focus. We want to get to the Premier League, of course, and we want to do well in this competition as well. You know, we've obviously got the luxury of being in the fight for both still, and yeah, we're just going to give everything, and hopefully we get what we want by the end of it. And finally, Tommy, there's international break coming up. Can you allow yourself a little bit of time to enjoy this, or is it straight back to work? No, I think I'm away with the 21, so my focus will be on that for the next week or so. So yeah, it'd be good to get away with the lads and you know, a different scenery, and then focus again back to finish off the season strong.
Everyone has a story to tell.
There's a lot more perks to having alopecia than I thought.
If you're aged 11 to 18, the BBC wants to hear from you.
Just because somebody's disabled doesn't mean that they can't achieve something.
So that your story can be told across TV, radio and online.
I really hope my story has helped people who are going through similar things.
Go to bbc.co.uk/Young Reporter Competition to find out more and see the full rules and privacy notice.
You have a voice that matters.
Entry closes just before midnight on Friday the 31st of March 2023.
BBC Radio Humberside.
So that was Sheffield United's match winner Tommy Doyle, scoring in added time to give Sheffield United a 3-2 victory over Blackburn Rovers. The semi-final draw follows this match here at the Amex Stadium. Grimsby Town, as it stands, heading out of the FA Cup, trailing here at Brighton by 1-0. Burnsy alongside me here.
Afternoon, everybody.
Now then, what did you make of that first half?
They're still in it. They're still in it. The sad fact is that early goal was preventable. I mean, I think it was a goalkeeping error. I'd point the finger at the keeper and say you should have done much better there. OK, he made the save, but aren't they taught to push it wide and away from the goal? And he's given them a chance.
What did you think to the shot? Do you think the shot was a tough one to handle?
No, I thought it was fairly routine. I definitely thought it was a goalkeeping error, but I might be in a minority of one on that one. JT's just showing us a picture. It's not one of his holiday snaps. That's the ball outside the area at the other end, isn't it? Keeper handling it outside the area.
Well, you've seen it back on the replay. Did you think at the time, when they were showing the replay again and again, whether it was outside the area?
Yeah, it looked out the area, but whether it's the shadow of whether it's the whole of the ball, but from what JT's just shown me, and you'll talk to JT in a bit, that looks out the box.
Yes.
But
they said it was on the line.
Yeah. They've lived on the nerves a little bit, Town, a couple of times. The lad that scored the goal, the 21, they're not dealing with him for me. They're just not. He's drifting into pockets of space in behind the midfield in front of the centre halves. And Waterfall, doesn't know whether to twist or stick with him.
So what would your advice be then if you were Paul Hurst in that situation? What do you do? Because that's a difficult one, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I'd look to make a change. I think you've got to get McAtee on, haven't you? Yeah, there's no point dying wondering, is there? You're in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup.
Completely agree.
You're only 1-0 down. Your best player's warming the bench at the moment. I know he worked at Southampton. I saw him. I thought he tried too hard there, but I'd bring him on now. I think he's got a part to play, and they're in it. I'm just looking at Crofty. He's going to be on the telly now. Look at him.
I know.
Do we get 10% of his fee, Matt?
I wish. 10% of nothing, though, mind you. It's not great. Is going to go live on BBC One in a moment. But if you're away from your telly, we'll keep you entertained here, and we'll keep talking about John McAtee's situation. That was a big talking point before the game today. I've got John's thoughts on it. I've had Gary's. What about yours?
I'd have played him, but as we always say, the managers see them in training, don't they? They know. They get all the data. They get a feel for it. He must have a plan for him. Maybe the plan was, get to half-time still in the game, which is a bold plan, and then throw him on. But, I'd have played him, I think. But then again, I'm not the manager. He's done fantastically well, Paul Hurst. He's still time to come on and be the hero, hasn't he?
He has, and it would give everybody a lift in black and white if he was brought on. I say in black and white, wearing pink this afternoon, but talking about the Town fans. John Tonder.
Can you see him out there at the moment?
He's warming up out there. He already has been. He ran out from the tunnel early on.
Is he there now?
And he went down the tunnel, John, taking his training top off. I think he'll be on.
That's what I meant, yeah.
And how do you think Danny Orsi's done?
Yeah, he might be the man that comes off.
Yeah, him
he worked hard on the keeper, didn't he? And he, the keeper might have gone for that, for handling out his areas. It's a big decision. JT's nodding there.
Oh yeah, if he's given the decision, that's why it went to VAR, because they're not going to give a free kick for that, but they'll send him off. It's a red card, isn't he?
Yeah.
I can't believe they didn't give it, to be perfectly honest. It looked so clear.
I'm struggling to hear you, John, because I've not got any headphones on and it's noisy here. I can hear Matt.
What about the flow of the game, though? Brighton have seen a lot of the ball, haven't they? We expected that much, but have Town got in amongst them? Have Town kept the discipline?
Yeah, it's hard. They move the ball quite well, but I mean they've had a good shape about them, Town. Just to say, I'd be concerned about the amount of space the 21 is getting. He's been, for me, the most influential player in the game. They should have scored a second, shouldn't they? Had a chance at the far post, didn't take it. But they're in it. You just want to see them get a set piece, get Waterfall up there and ask a few questions of their defence and see what happens.
Brighton are going to make a change, aren't they, John?
Levi Colwell, I think, is going to come on. They're just showing him a few things now. So who that'll be for, I don't know. I mean, they're still in the game at half-time, which is the good thing. I mean, the fact that they've never really threatened anywhere near the goal is the bad thing, I guess.
And you just want to see that away end explode, don't you?
Yeah.
And they'll be kicking that way in the second half. You just, for me, get a set piece, get Waterfall in the box, and even if he doesn't score, maybe something comes off and there's a second ball to be had. The story's written for McAtee, really, I think, personally.
I think Town fans would rather they went for it and lost 5-1 and scored rather than lost 1-0.
Yeah, there's no point in dying wondering, is there?
Yeah.
Sheffield United fan Kev, he's a hardcore Blades supporter, living in Hull, listening in, says cheering on Town, I hope they win, but if they don't, they've done themselves proud. Thanks very much, Kev, nice to hear from you this afternoon. In terms of chances, John, they've not really have they created anything clear cut?
They had a couple of chances to put the ball in the box, sort of a couple of disappointing crosses, didn't they? Michia Fete put one in when they had a lot of players in the box that didn't beat the first man, but that was about it, and there's nothing clear cut. The nearest we had a goal was that strange back pass from the halfway line, really. But
yes, I think you're right about John McAtee, though. As he went out to warm up, he came back down the tunnel. I think you observed, didn't you, John? So that would suggest one thing, wouldn't it? That he's going to be brought on.
Yes,
we'll see.
I mean, I think he has to, really.
What about Brighton, John? Who's impressed you in their lineup?
All of them, really. I mean, Pascal Gross is just cropping up anywhere, isn't he? He's, like being like an auxiliary right winger, but he's popped up in the middle. He's had a couple of efforts himself, and March as well on the right-hand side. They're the two who've really sort of impressed me, I think.
And the Town fans have made a din, haven't they, John, in that first half? They've tried their very best to get behind the team. Paul Hurst will be out in a moment down below. We can see Luke Waterfall, the first out of the players. The captain darts on. He wants to get kicked off in this second half. Alex Hunt looks like he might be being brought on, John.
Yeah, interesting. McAtee's definitely coming on.
So a double change.
Who's the other one? I'm just trying to see who the other player is gone off. Is it Green?
Green hasn't gone out, has he? In this second period so far. Now the Brighton players are coming out. So 1-0 to Brighton and Hove Albion. John McAtee is going to be introduced now with Alex Hunt. John McAtee's brother is already through to the semi-finals with Sheffield United in the early kick-off. What a story it would be, not only for Grimsby Town but for the McAtee family, if John McAtee had a part to play in sending Grimsby Town through to the semi-final. 1-0 to Brighton and Hove Albion. There's an awful lot of work to do to try and overturn this deficit. But John Tonda, we live in hope.
We do. We live in hope. Colwell is also on. And he's replacing a Stupin on the left-hand side. So Town making a couple of changes. McAtee and Hunt are on. Orsi and Kieran Green are off. Town attacking the fans. To the right-hand side. They're 1-0 down. Haven't really had a shot in anger in the first half, but they're still in the game. And it is Town getting us underway with Alex Hunt away to the right-hand side. But that goes beyond Michia Fete. McAtee is lining up in the striker role. I presume in about 15 minutes or so they might change it again and maybe bring Taylor on. Town 1-0 down. Max Crocombe in goal, back three, Andy Smith, Luke Waterfall, Niall Marr, Monsieur Fate, Anthony Glennon, wing-backs. In midfield now we've got Gav Holohan, and coming on Alex Hunt, Harry Clifton, Otis Khan now supporting McAtee up front. At the moment though it is Brighton on the left-hand side. Town looking for offside, nothing's given, everyone almost stopped playing, the ball's gone out, says the assistant on this side. We've seen the goalkeeper thing again, can't believe how it wasn't given.
Well, that is absolutely puzzling. I didn't get a chance to mention it there at half-time, but you know, when you frame it, you know, and it's blatantly picked up, and the VAR can see that, who makes the decision that nothing, there's no action taken on that? I can't believe it.
Anyway, it is what it is. VAR not coming to Town's rescue today. 1-0 down. Here comes Webster going forward to the left-hand side now to, there's Colwell. Out to Mitoma. Sliding challenge comes in from Smith. Just diverts the ball slightly, gives Brighton the possession still. And come back to Dunk. Back and it'll go to Casado. Back to the substitute Colwell again. It is 1-0 to Brighton. It's all been a sort of attack versus defence as the ball's played forward, but Glennon is there for the Mariners, plays out to the left-hand side. Khan forced backwards, forced a long way backwards, and has to settle for a throw.
Well, I think when you've got more players on the pitch that are better on the ball, it gives you a little bit of more confidence when you're on the ball yourself, because you know you can give it to players who will spend time on the ball and want the ball. You know, they want the ball in possession. And we've got that now with McAtee and Hunt in there. I think that's basically what he's seen and made the change accordingly. So good substitutes, I think.
Well done from Clifton. He flicks it on to McAtee on the left-hand side. It's calm, but it's a poor ball from McAtee. Doesn't find him. There's a really good option there, and it wasn't a particularly difficult ball. Through the middle. Undav away on the right-hand side now. Ball will come in again from March. Goes outside. Cuts it across, it balloons up in the air, hits the post, comes back volleyed over by Undav. Wow. Well, that didn't look like anything from our angle that he was going to hit the post at all, but somehow it sort of ballooned back off the post. Undav came flying in and just smashed it over the bar.
Yeah, you thought it was a good block by Glennon to maybe just give away the corner, but the ball blew right over the keeper, who just could only watch it because it came down vertically, hit the inside of the post, and just had to volley it, to keep his head down and hit the target. It was a goal. The Town get let off again.
Waterfall plays it short to Holohan. Smith now down the line looking for a Fate. Fate sort of waits for it a little bit. Tackle comes in behind him. It'll be a Mariners throw. It won't be a Mariners throw. It's a Brighton throw. Just down in front of us. Ball will come back to Dunk. Dunk gets it back, and Colwell rolls it across to Webster. He'll go to the right-hand side, and Gross. Pretty much the pattern of the first half so far. Well, Hunt slides into a challenge, he doesn't make it. It comes out on the left-hand side. Mitoma rolls it to the edge of the box. The shot is over the top and wide anyway from Casado. It'll be a goal kick for the Mariners.
Well, the chances keep coming, but they don't seem to have the shooting boots on at the moment, do they? Some of these Brighton players, I know they got a bit of a roasting at half-time from the manager. His expectations are very high, and that's probably one of the things he's been bemoaning. The shooting's been off target. They've had enough chances really to put Town out of sight.
Crocombe hits it away to Fate. Fender gets up above him. I wonder if that's why he's been brought on, Colwell, to get a Fate when it's being brought forward like this. Town having to defend at the moment. Lusman gets it to the right-hand side. March comes in on his left foot, rolls it inside to... Again, comes back to the right-hand side. Rolled into Casado, and further back, and out again to Colwell. He'll put it into the side. A little opportunity now for McAllister to go forward. Little turn, little shot, and a goal. And it's a well-turned goal as well. And the Mariners couldn't get there. and Ferguson turns it home. And it was all a little bit too easy for Brighton as they got through the middle, and it's now Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Grimsby Town 0.
Well, it was a little dink into feet, wasn't it? For me, it's far too much room. We've not got a brilliant angle on that, but for me, I was just waiting for him to be tackled or closed down. But he had an absolute turn, fully turn in the box, took it with his back to goal and opened his body up and just feathered it into the corner of the goal. Real easy finish for him. It won't come much easier than that for him. We've got a bit of a better view now on the telly. It's just a clever ball into him, to be fair, into feet. Crafted, but to be fair, it's a real nice touch. He takes it out of the air and drops it down right at his feet. It's a nice touch, clever ball through, good touch and a good finish in all fairness.
So 2-0. The two strikers for Brighton doing the business. And 6 minutes into the second half. Here go Town though with Glennon, fires it across the goal and the keeper saves.
That's better.
Well, they might as well just go for it now, might they? I mean, you know, let's see if Town can get on the score sheet at the very least. They're 2-0 down here.
They haven't had a chance to get on the ball at all after the second half. It's the first time they really have. Now they find themselves 2 down.
Yeah, Colwell away on the left-hand side. Clifton's in front of him. Colwell chips it in and well brought down by Matoma. Plays it in at the near post, but it's easy enough for Max Crocombe. Yeah, he did bring it down very nicely, Ferguson, didn't he, before just side-footing it past Crocombe.
Well, that's the thing, you see, the way he brought it down, the way he finished it, he thought he had acres in that box, but he didn't. He was so tightly marked, but his touch was absolutely wonderful, and his second touch also.
There's a foul there, wasn't it? No, play on, says the referee. It comes to the end of the box and goes further wide. Keep possession there with March. He'll play it in again. Town get it away. McAtee turns nicely. Now he can bring in the left-hand side and does. Khan can switch it back to Holohan. There's a man on him. Goes outside to Clifton. Clifton goes forward. Holland caught off the ball after the ball had gone there. Comes out to Mishia Fate on the right-hand side. Holland just behind him. Here's Khan. Khan turns into a bit of a cul-de-sac. Andy Smith is up there. He'll go back and it rolls in again to Holland. That's Smith. This is nice play by Town, but Smith couldn't quite get there, and it's going to be cleared by Brighton on the edge of the box, and a chance for Undav to hit it forward, which he does, but it's too far for Evan Ferguson, Irishman. And Mariners fans getting behind the team as the side sort of look to open up a little bit now.
Yeah, absolutely. Push some more men forward there, and you're thinking, let's go for it. It's just a shame to 2-0 down, but there's a bit more belief, I think, with the players on the pitch we've got now.
Nalmar. Gets it out to Andy Smith on the right-hand side. Forward it'll go to Fete, flicks it on down the line. It's going to go out, but it's gone off Fete, unfortunately, so it'll be a throw to Brighton. Just haven't got the key players going in this game, have they? Clifton's not really seen much of it. Khan hasn't.
No, they're so good in possession, aren't they, Brighton? They don't give you many chances. They're so quick to close down.
March hits it across to Colwell. I'm sure Colwell's been brought on for the ability from the set pieces when Town through Crocombe were trying to find a Fete and using his height. Brighton chip it into the box again. Smith comes across, deals with it nicely. It goes back on the right-hand side. March goes to the byline, plays it at the near post, deflected up in the air. Fete does well to get it away to Clifton, but Clifton's trod on it, and that could be a problem. It comes out to the edge of the box, and Colwell again goes to the left-hand side. Mitoma comes in, fires it in low, and just past the post.
Yeah, clever play. Clifton there, standing on the ball, allowing Mitoma to go running it. Fete just drops his shoulder one side, just passes it almost along the floor, doesn't he? And it's almost like the way the grass was leaning, sort of wobbled it away from the far stick. It looked like it was rolling in at one stage.
Yeah, Fete just stood still and watched it, really. And I think Crocombe might have got a fingertip to it if it had been on target. Anyway, here's Khan. Back to... Oh, well, it's not back. He can't find his man. It goes to a Brighton player. And ricochets through the middle, half away by Holohan. Hunt turns into trouble, as does Holohan. Manages to get it to Mishia Fete. Clifton's made a great run down the right-hand side, but Fete's ball gives him far too much to do, and Colwell will cover and give it back to the keeper.
Yeah, plays it a little bit too early. Fete doesn't allow Clifton to change his run or check back.
2-0 it is to Brighton. They're trying to work it through the middle at the moment, and they get it through the middle, and Crocombe comes out. He's not going to get there, and it's turned in, and there's no offside, and Ferguson has put it away to make it 3. Town despairingly looking to the side, but nothing's been given. And now the flag goes up.
I thought when he played it through, I thought the first one was, and certainly the second one was, he played it into him. There's only one defender at the back, so he was clean through, and he plays it forward.
Well, the VAR have let Town down badly in the first half.
I think he's
offside. He's not much in it.
No.
I think he is, yeah.
The
second one definitely isn't, but the first one was, I think.
Well, let's have a look at escape for Town.
The flag did go up, didn't it?
Very, very late.
Well, they do, don't they, now? They wait for it to go in, and then they put the flag up just in case they're wrong on tight decisions.
Yeah.
We're still waiting. What's going on here?
Is it going to be an arm that's offside? It looks very tight.
Still no decision been made. We're still waiting, so it's obviously tighter.
It's what they draw the line off that's going to count here, I think. The first guy that goes through is just ahead of him, isn't he? Maybe a shoulder as well there. It's very tight. It's almost level, but one's got their arm out and one hasn't. Yeah.
And offside is the decision. I think offside is going to be the decision. We're still waiting, but I think it's fairly certain it's going to be offside. It is offside. It's a 2-0.
Well, another chance for Town. If we could just get something, you never know. Make this into a cup tie.
Just want to give the crowd something to cheer about, really, don't they?
Absolutely.
Town fans getting behind the team again. They've been superb. Ball goes forward, headed on by Glennon, chased by McAtee, trying to get there, pokes it, the keeper saves it, and it's cleared.
Well, Glennon did brilliantly there, didn't he? Coming in from the far side, winning the header. McAtee didn't give up on it, got a nice touch, and the keeper made a good save.
More like it from Town. Colwell now on the left-hand side for Brighton, rolls back to Dunk. On the right-hand side, Webster now. Toma is wide left. Might come to him via Colwell, and Colwell now goes the other way instead. 59 minutes gone, 2-0. It is to Brighton. Ball cleared as far as Calm, but it wasn't a great clearance out to him. That's the problem. That's what it's been. Town have been clearing it, not passing it.
That's it, yeah. Even when they got time, they've just been a bit too scruffy with it at times. I've seen them do better than what they've done today.
Dunk going forward again, flicked into the edge of the box. Smith away, up in the air it'll go. And it'll break for Clifton, and McAtee will chase. Clifton's caught late, McAtee's going here. Defender comes across in front of him. And McAtee gets a foot on it, but it'll go away for a corner, I think.
Play there. McAtee's made a real difference. Obviously, we haven't seen that much of him, but his energy, his levels, and his thought and his runs, and just set him apart. That time, that was a lost course there, and he just slid in to sort of hook it back onto the defender and win the corner. Very clever play.
So I think it hit the first effort. I think they hit the keeper in the face.
Well, this is more like
no, he did well to get his hand to it. And it is a corner for Town. Everybody back for Brighton. They lead 2-0.
Well, we know anything can happen from these corners, and it's got the Town fans going, and this is what we wanted.
What's going on here? Referee's coming across.
Well, there's something to this conversation going on down here. Maybe the fourth official. Is it something to do with the crowd?
Yeah, it is. It's something to do with the crowd, I think. Didn't see what it was.
Well, the one we did see earlier when something came onto the pitch, nothing was done about that. There's a bit of a conflict between about 7 people down here.
Yeah. And it is a corner after all this that Glennon will take. Everybody back for Brighton. Waterfall and Fete being spoken to now. No idea what that's about. Anyway, the corner will be taken. Town could take it short, they're not going to. Glennon fires it across. Waterfall coming in, keeper catches the ball slightly behind him. He still caught it. I think Waterfall might have been fouling his man anyway as the ball came in. Brighton player is down, but we're continuing to play.
I don't think the Brighton players have seen that. I might let it get out
now, I think.
He's got a bang on the side of the head. I didn't see what happened then.
Well, Waterfall sort of went in quite early, if you see what I mean. But anyway, it's, we're going to stop and then we'll restart play with Brighton ball. But Town got the corner. They've had a shot on target. Keeper save from McAtee. I mean, there's always the what if now. What if McAtee had started?
Well, I know.
You know, if we'd go on and win it, of course, nobody asked the question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to stand and criticise Paul Hurst in any real fashion for what he's done, but it has been a bit of a puzzle today with not playing McAtee instantly, you know, although we didn't see nothing for the first 5-6 minutes of the second half. The times Town have broken, he's just made some clever runs, he's got on the ball, he retains possession better, he's not quick to unload the ball, he's had a shot on target already, he's won as a corner, and whether that's just perked him up, I don't know, but he's certainly been more effective.
Casado still getting treatment in the 6-yard box. How long before Taylor?
Well, I mean, if Town sort of carry on in this vein, in the last few minutes they've done quite well. I'm not sure we'll be doing it too soon, and difficult to see who you're going to bring off to replace him with, to be fair, at the moment. Maybe Holohan, drop McAtee deeper and put Taylor up front, that might be an option, but I think he'll let it go for at least another 10 minutes or so.
Casado's okay, he's going to go off and come back on again. The ball was stopped with Brighton in possession, so that's where we'll continue with 63 minutes of the game gone on. The Mariners 2-0 down. Would have been 3, but VAR ruled out another one. Moises Casado will trying to come back on a little bit early, but he's okay. The referee is not happy with the way that the ball's been given back, so we'll start again. Here comes Adam Webster again. 63.5 minutes gone. 2-0 to Brighton. Roll to the left-hand side. Matoma rolls it further left. Comes back. Town can't get it back though, and Colwell is there. Going down the left-hand side. Matoma, a little short ball back to McAllister. McAllister comes across, rolls it to Webster. Webster's got support on the right-hand side. 2 players there. One of them is Pascal Gross. Goes outside again to March. And it's lifted in. Headed away well by Smith. But only just away. And Clifton's going to have to turn it away. Does. It's going to come back the Mariners' way. There's 2 on. 1 on this left-hand side. One of them is Matoma. Gives it in. A little turn on the edge of the box. McAllister goes back again and comes left to Colwell. And McAllister, there's some seagulls flying over the ground, which is what the booing's about as the ball is played through, and Crocombe is there, almost on cue, the seagulls. Almost like somebody's released them. And the ball is played away to the right-hand side. Defender gets it. It'll be a Mariners throw, 10 yards inside the Brighton half. Taken quickly, Clifton to McAtee. Back it'll go to Fete. Fete can go forward here. He's got a man at his back. Short to McAtee and back to Holohan, who's forced across to the far side to Niall Marr, just short of halfway. Forward to Glennon, hugging that left touchline. Good run down the left by Khan, offside.
I mean, it looks more functional by Town though, doesn't it? They've got the switcher play there. Play through in the midfield from the right to the left, but timing that run should be going too early.
Yep. Remains 2-0. Don't see any sign of Ryan Taylor. He's warming up, but he's no sign of him being brought on. It's Adam Webster for Brighton, who lead 2-0, has it on halfway. Rolls to the left-hand side. Colwell. Matoma, trying to run at Mishia Fete. Fete's got to get in front of him. And Matoma's got in there, goes down. No penalty is given. They'll have a look at that one, I think, because Fete was from slightly the wrong angle there.
He certainly got rounded, but I think just threw his feet down. I think you can expect that to be given, really. It was a really good turn. Not many people show Fete a clean pair of heels, but he got away, then gets across in front of him, and then just throws himself forward.
The slightest of nudges. I think that's about it. Looks as though they've had enough of that.
So you got a card for that.
Yeah.
Look.
Going to be a corner.
He felt the arm on his back, didn't he? And then he just threw himself to the ground.
So it's going to be a corner to Brighton. Real Lewis Dunk on the goal line, trying to get away from his man, comes across the goal. Little shove going in there, hits the bar. No free kick given. Town wanted one. It's come out to the left-hand side. Now it has been given. Well, I don't know what the ref was waiting for there. It looked like a foul, but then there was no flag from the linesman, I don't think. So
his body's everywhere there, wasn't it? Didn't get
yeah.
a clean header, and then the one off the bar, and it was just a barge into the back, wasn't it?
Look, a foul, yeah, foul on McAtee, but anyway, it's a free kick for Town. Halfway through the second half, the Mariners still trail 2-0. Looks like another Brighton sub's being ready. Can't see Town making any. Ball played out on the left-hand side to Glennon. Short into Alex Hunt, who rolls it back and to Marr. He'll play it across. He won a great ball back by Hunt. I'm not sure if he knew there was a player coming in. Got caught, of course, at Carlisle recently, bringing the ball out, Alex Hunt. Clifton tries to get there. He can't. Holohan can. Town are still deep in their own half. Goes to Niall Marr. He'll go forward to Glennon. Glennon's got a man on him and is fouled by March. It'll be a free kick for Town. 10 yards short of halfway.
I certainly think Town are a bit brave on the ball, aren't they? The way they're switching it and the way they're trying to sort of get forward. And they were in the first half, just not seeing that much of the ball, are they? That's the problem.
It's back with Crocombe. Hits it up again towards Mishia Fete, but way over Mishia's head and into touch. Lucas Doig is not happy with that. So it'll be a throw to Brighton that's been taken. Brighton again going to make a change in a minute. Moises Caicedo in midfield. Colwell. Inside again, it'll go to Dunk. Dunk looks right, looks left, keeps possession at the minute before just playing it back to Colwell. And out on the left-hand side, Toma. Back inside it'll come. Jeremy Sarmiento's going to come on in a minute. And I think Ryan Taylor, looks like Bryn Morris might be coming on for Town. Yeah, it looks like Morris is the sub. As it is, Town having to defend here as the ball's flicked in again. Takes a double ricochet, falls back to the edge of the box, and an opportunity again. And a goal again, and it is well played in that time. Ferguson firing it home. Just fell nicely from on the edge of the box, and that should seal it if it wasn't sealed before. It's Brighton and Hove Albion 3, Grimsby Town 0.
Yeah, it's a shame really. Town defending the edge of the box reasonably well there, and as the Town player went to clear it, it off as one of his own players, and it ricocheted back through to Ferguson, and Ferguson had a simple task, taking it round the last defender and sitting the keeper down and passing it into the corner of the net. And I think that's probably game, set and match.
Yeah, I mean, finished it nicely, didn't it? Right in the bottom corner, nothing Max Crocombe could do there.
Yeah, just the Town defender around their areas quite well, and came back off Holohan, didn't it?
Yeah. Back
into his path, off Luke Waterfall.
Clever flick forward, but
and then
Taylor is coming on alongside Morris. with 20 minutes left.
You might as well give all these lads a taste of what it's like to play here.
It was a lovely curled one from Ferguson, actually. Just curled it round, and then Sotis Khan's come off. Ryan Taylor's on.
So see McAtee drop deeper now.
Harry Clifton's off. Not really happened for Harry today, has it?
No, he's worked reasonably hard down.
Not really happened for anybody, really, to be fair.
None of them seen enough of the ball, really, but...
Danny Welbeck's coming on for Undan. It's been nice to have Danny Welbeck to bring on as a sub.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of shows you the gulf, doesn't it? Undov's been a bit of a thorn in the side. He's got some good holes. But I mean, with them getting told up at half-time, I heard when I was down on the pitch side, told that the Brighton manager had been in having a right go at him, saying he wasn't happy with them because Town had frustrated him. And Ferguson, who's got the 2 goals, he's coming off now for Welbeck. He's getting a very rapturous round of applause.
Ferguson is off as well. He's got 2, could have had 3 apart from the linesman's flag. So can Town get a goal? McAtee tries one from the halfway line that goes out for a goal kick near the corner flag.
That was actually a shot.
It was a shot.
He tried to no look and do it, didn't he? He tried to look out to the wing and then shoot at the goal. Ended up doing neither, hitting the corner flag with it.
Town have a throw.
Grimsby Town substitutions coming off were Otis Khan and Harry Clifton. Coming on number 17,
now Holohan playing wide right. Here's Andy Smith. Drills it across to Marr. Marr hits it against his man and Hunt can't get hold of it and is breaking through the middle. That looked like a foul by Marr. Might go in the book for that. Hasn't been any yellow cards so far, but he certainly pulled March back there.
Yeah, sloppy first touch really by Marr as he came across from Smith and narrowed his angles down. He gave it away in frustration, just pulls the guy down. Brighton are so quick to break when they get the ball.
So it's a free kick to Brighton. We're going to make another sub in a minute, I think. The Mariners fans still making the noise, even though their side are 3 goals down. And we have 17 minutes left. Going to be taken by Pascal Gross. Chips it into the far post. Mariners got away free. Brings it down. Plays it across, away by Waterfall to the edge of the box. Brave header comes in, but it breaks out to the left-hand side again. McAtee does well to get back in front of his man. No foul. McAtee gets to the corner flag and turns it away. It's a throw. Good work by McAtee defensively there.
Yeah,
a few half-hearted appeals for a penalty behind the goal, but I really don't think it was one. Going to be 2 more subs going to be made. Yassine is going to come on, as is John Paul van Hecke. Fete does well to almost win it back. Breaks back for halfway though. And on the right-hand side, Gross finds himself in space as he has so often in this game. Turns Holohan one way, then goes the other. Goes out to the right-hand side. Ball comes in at the near post, flicked forward, but Town will get it away. Up to Taylor. Taylor plays it back to Morris, back to Taylor. Town still deep in their defence, and Fete has to loop it up, hoping to find McAtee. And the ball runs away from him. McAtee sort of half-hearted appeals to the referee, but the referee's not going to give that.
What McAtee's doing there, he's got to let go for the ball rather than shout for the...
Yeah, it wasn't an obvious foul, anything like that. It has to be.
Still was quite close to him anyway, just get on and play the game.
Brighton fans singing the Wembley song. They're going to Wembley, which I think they probably are, as Welbeck turns on the edge of the box. Smith gets a fantastic challenge in. Really good challenge from Smith, because that looked for all the world as though Welbeck was going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, beautiful bit of skill by Welbeck there. Thought he was clean through on goal there. Smith read the danger and got across, and beautiful timely challenge there just as he's pulling the trigger.
Mariners fans still making the noise behind the goal as Alex Hunt has it. Holohan is ahead. Hunt goes left instead to Glennon. Two Brighton subs still waiting to come on. Town can't get forward at the moment. They're being pushed back again. Here's Morris. Goes right to Smith. Smith forward to McAtee. McAtee rather waits for it, and McAllister doesn't. And he is a World Cup winner. Ball gets into Casado. He'll play a little ball through the flicked on again, looking for Welbeck, but Town have dealt with that. He'll go back to Max Crocombe. Who hits it toward Michish Fete again. And Colwell does what he's done well in the second half, beats Fete in there, because Fete was winning a fair few of them in the first half. Ball ricochets off Waterfall, finds for Welbeck. Now brought down to the edge of the box again, and Morris does well to beat him and give it back to Crocombe. He'll go left to Glennon. Will go out, and it'll be a throw. Well, Town have found it hard work, haven't they, Crofty? Without, you know, I think they'd have found it hard work, whatever, but they've not quite been at their best today, have they, to really sort of push on and give the team and give the fans a lot to shout about.
No, and it's easy to pull apart and analyse what's happened as well, but just the very start, I felt like there's a little bit of a lack of belief in this side. They kind of conceded ground straight away, sort of fell back into the game plan that they've been told to sort of do and defend deep without the real need to at first. They sort of conceded ground when there was a chance to sort of push in, and not be so easy to sort of concede that ground. And I think from that moment on it sort of set the tone, and with that early goal going on, it was very difficult for Town to really gather any momentum at all. They certainly didn't. They didn't hold the ball up well enough, and you know, another early goal in the second half really sort of makes it very, very difficult.
Lewis Dunk comes off. Alexis McAllister comes off. John Paul Van Hecker. Yasin Asari are on. Town still looking for something from this game. Comes inside to Alex Hunt. Just lets it run across him, then has to go back to Morris, who's sitting deep in between the centre-backs at the moment. Plays it away to the right-hand side to Fete. Fete heads it on. McAtee loses out. Fete tries to win it back. That's a handball, I think, from Amiche Fete. Free kick is given. And free kick will be taken. The Town fans, the stewards galore in front of them on the right-hand side. As Brighton make progress with Pascal Gross. Out on the right-hand side, Solly March rolls it in. Chance for to be played in again, and an overhead kick, which would have been brilliant if it had come off from Brighton's point of view. Fortunately for the Mariners, doesn't, and it would have been some first touch, I think, for Ayari if he'd got that one in. Yeah, Waterfall's clearance charged down by Danny Welbeck.
Town still trying to play out. Brighton sort of setting the trap, so it's going to go long.
Yep. Up towards Taylor. He loses out in the air this time. Comes into midfield and brought forward to Casado. The Town have got it back. Holohan still trying the Mariners. Outside to Glennon. Bit of space in front of Glennon. Two players in the box for him if he can get it forward. Holohan goes forward, goes in towards McAtee and towards Taylor, but it's too high for either of them, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, a little sloppy. Obviously wanted to just get the ball in the box. Taylor's the target obviously now, but overhit the ball. Gone into their half many times over this half. Got to do better than that when we do though, unfortunately. So frustrating though, because when it goes back to Brighton you don't get it back for another couple of minutes, do you, at least?
Fete has it though, a rare loose ball, but a loose ball by Town as well. Almost give it back. Smith able to knock it forward. Holohan just beaten to it by Moises Casado, and it'll go through the middle and rolled out to the right-hand side where German Gross will get it and play out to the right-hand side again. Chip forward looking for the run of Welbeck. It's a good run as well. Smith comes across, the shot is on, saved at the near post, and it goes away for a corner.
It was a difficult one for Welbeck to get the shot on target, but he did ever so well. It was a bouncing ball going away from the goal, and Max Croker back to be aware because he did get the shot in and he got it in on target
Smith
as well.
did well to get in front of him though, didn't he? He still got the shot in. The corner's been taken short. Played to the edge of the box and Casado shoot is a cry from the home fans. He gets another opportunity, doesn't take either of them. And it comes back to the edge of the box here. Matome tries to get it forward. The Mariners will bring it away, but they've given it away. Poor play out there by Morris. Come into the edge of the box. Another shot comes in, well blocked by Marr. And a little 1-2 on the far side leaves Alex Hunt gasping for air and the ball as it's taken away from him. It'll come back to Webster and be rolled across left to Colwell, and out again now to Matome. Matome, edge of the box, rolls into the edge of the box again, and they're just playing it around now, Brighton, at the moment. It'll come back inside and to the right-hand side. Time running out, 9 minutes for Town to get what would be only a consolation probably with the 3-0 scoreline. Colwell out to Matome on the left-hand side again. Colwell goes outside him, Matome comes inside him, rolls it again to the right-hand side. Town half get a foot in, but they just can't get it at the moment at all, and Ayari will play it outside again, and Webster plays it in, diving header, and that's a 4th goal, and it's Solly March who's got it. It was a great ball in, and Solly March with a brave diving header makes it worse for the Mariners, because it's now Brighton and Hove Albion 4, Grimsby Town 0.
Well, I mean, Brighton knocking their battle so well. It's a hard watch now for the Mariners because they look so comfortable in possession, just works it from one side to the other, stretching Town. Town were almost in a big clump around the Town goal, but somehow Webster, who's played really well from right side centre back with some lovely throw balls, picks out his runner there with a lovely curled cross away from the keeper, and it was an easy finish really, ahead of him just 2 or 3 yards out. No one tracked the runner.
It was a brave header, wasn't it, from him really, because there was a foot coming in.
Yeah, he's done well. He's good he's got the wrong side of Smith, hasn't he? Smith, so he just switched off for a second, and came right round the back.
Wondering if there might be a VAR check on possible offside. It's not going to be. And Town have got a throw on halfway, some tired legs out there. And they did, they just knocked it round, then the killer ball. Evan Curry's coming on. Good chance for the youngster.
Absolutely, just get as many on as you can, I think. Just give everyone an experience. A taste of what this is all about.
Gav Holohan's coming off.
I'm sure everyone knows where they're going to be playing once Curry comes on.
Number 8, Gavin Holohan. He's replaced by number 30, Evan Curry.
Well, Gavin Holohan's had a fantastic FA Cup, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's superb down at Luton.
Smith throws it down the line. Comes back, 2 Town players collide with each other. It comes through to Waterfall, who plays a clever little ball inside to Morris. Morris hits it across, but only to a blue shirt, and it's just easy for him to turn it back. I think he was aiming at Glennon, because it was nowhere near Glennon. He apologises to Glennon, but 4-0 it is. It's been very comfortable all afternoon, which we always feared it might be, Crofty.
Yeah, well, it's played out like we thought. You know, they played the full-strength side. It's no surprise what's happened's happened. You hope and you wish, but you know, they played it like they should have done. They've been so solid at the back, having quick to close Town down. Town perhaps lacking a little bit of belief, like I said, but other than that, it's gone to form, unfortunately. We're not used to that.
No. Ball clipped forward again, and just getting there is Max Crocombe before Ayari. Be nice to see him get on the score sheet, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd like to see another shot on goal or something. They've threatened, but Brighton's really turned the screw. Really, last 10 minutes.
Here's Morris. This tries to find Glennon again. This time he succeeds. Glennon brings it down really nicely. Curry's on a run left-hand side. Glennon going forward. Gives it to Curry. No, he hits it across looking for Taylor. Comes back. The shot is on. That's a brilliant save to deny McAtee.
Fantastic.
From Sanchez.
Combining really well the front two there, but as a move. Brilliant crossfield ball. I think it was Smith, wasn't it? Picked out Glennon. Glennon's lovely touch. Glennon went inside, outside.
It was Morris's ball across, yeah.
inside outside by Glennon there and whips it in. Taylor, lovely touch off layup, and I thought he'd done the business there. McAtee just sort of picked out the far stick, but the keeper on his toes moves his feet really well and tips it round the post.
It's a corner. Town fans getting behind their team. Can they get a goal here? Give them something to cheer. Hunt goes short. Glennon, I think he's going to wave him away. Again, Brighton bring everybody back. They're really taking this seriously all right through to the 90 minutes. Glennon's corner. Comes in at the near post and two players go for it, but they get it away. Hunt will chase it back and give it to Glennon. Glennon nutmegs his man. Still goes Anthony Glennon, still goes Anthony Glennon. Brought down on the edge of the box, no foul, says the referee. And there's Brighton charging forward, it's 5 against 1. Hunt does well to stop it initially. And we play on. Samiento rolls it inside. And it comes to the edge of the box to Ayari. He'll play it in and just inches away from the player coming. Did that look a foul on Glennon from you?
I thought he got crowded out, to be fair, before they got the ball. I thought he just squeezed him in between two players and blocked his way through. I think just because he looked like he was off balance anyway, the ref didn't give anything.
Waterfall. Short to Andy Smith. 3.5 minutes into McAtee. McAtee tries a little step over, hits it away to the left-hand side, and Corey. Evan Corey, can we get a good ball in from him? Hits it across the goal. Oh, almost reaches Afete. Comes out to Morris, who's fouled on the edge of the box. No foul given by the referee. Hunt gets it back to Waterfall. Goes left to Niall Marr. Glennon. Corey again makes a run. Good run. Defender just comes across. Corey nudges him over. And we play on. 2.5 minutes plus stoppages, 4-0. Montana looked more likely as a threat when McAtee came on.
Yeah, exactly.
But did that open him up defensively a little bit too much? That's
well, I don't think it did. No, because he was playing up top. I don't see how that affects your defence. I just think it gives you a better player up front. In all fairness, in my money, but you know, that's the way it panned out. Unfortunately.
Well, it's 4-0, but the only voices you can hear are from the mighty Mariners fans.
Well, absolutely.
On the right-hand side, they're staying till the final whistle to give the team the ovation they deserve, not just for today, but for those 5 fantastic rounds where they beat teams above them before that. Again, Brighton are in the Mariners half, as they have been for a long, long time. It'll come back to Adam Webster. Rolled across to Colwell and out on the left-hand side. Matoma running at Fetty, goes outside of Fetty, and it's going to be a goal kick. I think if it goes off, it hasn't gone off. It's a clever flick, and it's just wide. And poor old Max Crocombe was not even in his goal there as Ayari fired it in. It took a deflection. It will be a corner, but that could easily be number 5.
It could have done, to be fair. Fetty does quite well. He gets in the tackle, but unfortunately, ball doesn't go out of play, and in the end, they managed to scramble it away. I don't like the look of 5-0. I don't want that 5th one to go in.
There's a corner. Brighton will take it as we go into the last minute of normal time. They take it short. Matoma has it again to the edge of the box. March rolled, low shot, good save by Crocombe. And again, Matoma was trying to get there for any scraps.
Just can't believe how much space there is in there. Tom's, you know, in their own box. There just seems to be so much space to play the ball.
Well, Morris rolls it back to Marr, and I don't think he saw the defender coming in. It's back with Crocombe now. He'll move it away right-hand side to Luke Waterfall. Waterfall has it taken off him. And it's going to be another chance to play it into the edge of the box. Half cleared, Matoma with the shot, it takes a deflection, and it's gone in to make it 5. Well, that was cruel on Town. Waterfall lost it near the right-hand side. He came back to Matoma, who hit it, and it just took enough deflection just to send it inside the post. And that's the 5th of Brighton, and that's the end for the Mariners. But what a fantastic run it has been. It's Brighton 5, Grimsby Town 0.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real scruffy one as well, isn't it? Look, Waterfall, who's had a very, very good season again, grew that a little bit. Scruffy came out, big touch, sort of played it early. tried to be clever with it and then lost the ball. Knew he was in trouble, but that shot, he just scuffs it a little bit. Just
yeah, it was off Waterfall as well, wasn't it?
Just sneaks inside that post because it was going nowhere, that shot. He didn't catch it well at all. Double punishment there for Waterfall.
5-0. And we're in stoppage time. Just Max Crocombe desperately trying to reach it to prevent the goal. Down the line it goes. Taylor can't quite get there. He's hardly seen a ball since he's been on, and it'll roll away for a goal kick. No. But although Brighton winning 5-0, it's the Mariners fans you can hear, although their side trail 5-0.
Well, there's not an empty seat in the town end, but there's plenty of empty blue ones where the Brighton fans were. That tells you how much this has meant to the town fans. They want to stay and applaud their team, who've been magnificent through this run.
Brighton coming again, looking for the 6. Ball's over Smith's head. Matoma has it again. Plays it in again and just wide this time. Well, they're not taking the foot off the gas, are they?
Well, they're still going for it there.
I mean, from Brighton's point of view, from the very start, they've taken this very, very professionally. They've treated Town with respect, and they've gone for the jugular, and they haven't put the foot off the pedal all through the game.
Yeah, it's been a very professional performance by Brighton. They've stuck to their task, knew what Town were going to do. You know, they've probably been practicing this all week. How are we going to play against this type of defence? Someone's going to shut us down. We've got to be patient, we've got to knock the ball around, and just get probing and probing and probing. And eventually, the quality tells. Town get tired.
29,415. That's the final action of the game. Well, Town have lost here. They've lost here by 5-0. This wasn't to be for the Mariners today, but this wasn't a failure. Nothing like. This was just the end of a brilliant success. Listen to those Town fans on the right-hand side cheering their team. It's been a fantastic run. They've made history, and the adventure, unfortunately, ends today. Brighton and Hove Albion 5, Grimsby 10-0.
Well, it almost brings a tear to your eye, you know, hearing the Town fans cheer like that, you know. It means so much to them, travelling all this way. The Town fans should get an ovation from the whole of this stadium, to be fair. They've brought life to the tournament this year, got to the quarter-final. It's been a dream scenario. Such a difficult run for them as well to get where they got to, beating all the teams leagues above them. And you know, the fans are just making it really special now by staying behind, and they've got to go over there and, you know, get a nice round of applause and ovation from them. It's been a superb effort by them, but this one was always going to be a bridge too far, we felt, didn't we? And that's what it's proved to be.
No, unfortunately, because Brighton have put the music on here, you won't hear the Town fans so clearly away on the right-hand side, who are still shouting and singing and staying to salute their team. The Mariners fans, I don't think one of them has left. The Town players will go across to them now. It's Brighton who progress to the semi-final, but it's the Mariners who take the plaudits from their fans, not for today, but what's led to today. They go over to the right-hand side. Brighton fans applauding them as well, but most of the Brighton fans are making their way out. The Town fans are staying, and they're cheering their side. And what a run it's been, Gary Croft.
Well, I mean, it just gives you a taste of what they can do. You know, I think, you know, coming here and seeing what Brighton have done over 20 years, and the way the club's building, and the run they've been on this year, and the success, and all the fans that have come to the stadiums under the stewardship of the new owners and the new manager. You know, it just shows how far this club can go, and we've just got to hope that the success and the money that this has brought to the club and the attention it's brought to the club, that now they can build on that and do something special next year. We've heard all the money from this is going into the playing budget next year, which really means they can bring some special players in, hopefully with the right recruitment, and hopefully next year they can push them up the list, because that's where we want to see them.
Yeah, you can hear the Town fans even above this music that's being played here. They're over on the right-hand side. Harry Haddock, everywhere you look, being waved. The Mariners fans saluting their side. Paul Hurst is over there applauding as well. Didn't go his way to that early goal. Changed it, I think, really early on, didn't it? If they could have stood out a little bit longer. They were still in it at half-time. Opened up a little bit going forward, bringing McAtee on, which left space as it had to. And Brighton were clinical. But It's just a fantastic scene to see the Mariners fans away on the right-hand side. Not one of them has left on the right-hand side. They've come down in their numbers, nearly 5,000 of them. A lot more would have come if they'd have got tickets. And they are proud of their team, whatever's happened today.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Look at that, that's absolutely awesome. If someone can just get a film of that, Matt Dean's filming that, you've got to have a look at that on BBC, on the Twitter page, whatever. I mean, the whole place is absolutely bouncing. Harry Haddock's up and down everywhere. They're having a party of their lives. It's just a shame it couldn't happen on the pitch, but it's meant so much to them. It's given them something to cheer again. Success is round the corner for this club, hopefully. Just got to keep building and building, and I think the foundations are there. It's been a fantastic cup run.
Yeah, and they can use this. You can remember Alan Buckley's year when he had the cup run, and then the success followed, and Town will be hoping to do that the following season.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives all them players appetites for more days like this. It gives fans more appetite to do it. It gives them more reason to come and spend the money at the club, knowing that these occasions can happen. And if the club know that other things are going on at the club, and the detail that's going into the building of the foundations of the club to make this a club that can expand and get bigger and get that new stadium we're all craving, then they'll just keep coming back, these fans. And
they've still got a few games this season. I mean, they've had a couple of wins recently, which has made life a lot easier, and hopefully they can finish the season well in the league as well.
Yeah, they've done that last couple of games. 7 points in 3 games. But look at that. I mean, that is awesome. They're having a party in their lives. They've got to keep going in the league, obviously. Now want the highest finish we can, just to show what we can achieve. It's going to be hard now. It's going to be a little bit deflating, a 5-0 defeat, but you've got to put this into perspective. This is a Brighton team that's on form, that had the respect for Town to play their strongest 11 today, other than the goalkeeper, like you said, but he's a Spanish international, like you also said. So, you know, Brighton knew they had to play well today. And I just think it's a shame in a way on the day that they got that early goal. If they could kept it at 0-0 for a little bit, you never know, but they look like they have the measure of Town. They've got the players, they have the talent. Town looked a little bit scared of it today and almost kind of knew that this was maybe as far as they were going to go. No real particular outstanding performances throughout the team. I don't think anyone was quite at the best, but yeah, we'll let them enjoy that day. Let's not be too critical of anyone, even the manager, you know, his selections, whatever, you know, let's not be too critical of him. He's got us where they got to today, and he walks off alone, actually, Paul Hurst, away from the Town players, as the Town players just stand there in admiration for the fans, letting the fans have the moment. Got Sweet Caroline blaring out. The fans are going to be singing that to the players, and they're going to love that.
Well, it's always going to be a party, I think, and it's still going to be a party for the Mariners fans away on the right-hand side. Just amazing scenes to be seen.
And you know the thing, John, have a look around at all the Brighton fans. They're all filming the Town fans. All of them, they've all got the phones up looking. It's got to be impressive.
This is a team that has just lost 5-0. The Haddocks are waving, and the Mariners fans still cheering. The players still waiting there and watching them, because it's just been an outstanding run. Didn't happen from today. It was never, in a way, I think, likely to happen to them today. I think they had the day at Southampton. You very rarely get 2 of them, do you, Crofty?
Yeah.
Especially when you're playing a side even better the next time round.
Yeah.
That's what Town have done mostly. Played a better side just about every time they've played, and still come away with it up until today.
Yeah, I think, you know, you smelt it a little bit against Luton. You smelt it a little bit at Southampton, where they were this Brighton team, so well drilled. You know, and obviously they've seen what Town have done to these other teams. They see what the managers did before when they went to play Town, making changes. And I'm sure they were so determined not to let that happen today. That would have been the talk at Brighton this week, to not be another victim of that. And they didn't. They were very professional, and hopefully they can go on and have their success now. It's been a well-run club. The chairman, Tony Bloom, has done a fantastic job here over the years to build this, making unbelievable recruitment decisions in his choice of managers and where he wants to take the club. Even when he just decided to make a change with Chris Hughton out of the blue, he brought in Graham Potter, who then took him on to another level, which he didn't think was possible, because they just made it back. And then again, Zebri, you know, he's come in now and he's doing an absolutely unbelievable job as well, and he wasn't even down on the touchline today. The players are so disciplined, work very hard for Brighton, and we wish them all the best in the future. But
it's been an amazing run. It comes to an end today, losing 5-0. No disgrace there. The adventure is finally over. It's finished. Brighton and Hove Albion 5, Grimsby Town 0.
Reactions are